Darkness settled over the small town of Ravenshade, a place where secrets festered in the shadows and nightmares bled into reality. On the outskirts of town stood the abandoned Blackwood Asylum, a derelict relic of forgotten horrors. For decades it had been left to decay, its halls echoing with the whispers of those who once roamed its cursed corridors. Few dared to approach, let alone step inside. But when a group of thrill-seeking friends, eager to document their urban exploration for their online horror channel, decided to investigate its depths, they unknowingly awakened something far worse than they could have ever imagined. The night was still when the group arrived, armed with flashlights, cameras, and a bravado that masked their creeping unease. There was Jason, the fearless leader whose obsession with the supernatural led him to seek the asylum out. Beside him was Emily, his skeptical but loyal girlfriend, always the voice of reason. Mike, the comic relief, never took anything seriously, while Sarah, quiet and introspective, carried a hidden sensitivity to the unseen. Rounding out the group was Tyler, the tech genius, ensuring that every moment of their exploration was captured. The asylum loomed before them, its once grand facade now a crumbling monument to madness. As they crossed the threshold, the temperature seemed to plummet, their breath visible in the dim glow of their flashlights. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and decay. Dust motes swirled in the darkness, disturbed by their hesitant footsteps.
This place is a death trap,
he muttered, glancing at the rotting beams and collapsed sections of ceiling. Jason grinned. As they ventured deeper into the asylum, the atmosphere became oppressively heavy. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, and the building seemed to breathe, groaning beneath its own weight. Faint whispers skittered through the silence, barely audible, like wind through cracked walls. Yet there was no wind that night. Her voice trembled, her hand gripping her flashlight tightly.
Probably just the building settling,
Mike said with forced nonchalance, but even he glanced around uneasily. Then the lights flickered. First a subtle dimming, then a violent burst of static interference on their cameras. Tyler cursed as his equipment glitched, screens warping with strange distortions. A chill spread through the group as the flickering intensified, casting the walls in a macabre dance of shadows and light. And then the laughter began. A child's laughter, high-pitched and hollow, echoed through the asylum, sending a shudder down their spines.
That wasn't the wind.
It came from the darkness ahead, a corridor leading deeper into the asylum's forgotten bowels.
We have to see what's down there,
Emily whispered, clutching Jason's arm. Jason, though shaken, pressed forward. With reluctant steps, they followed the sound, their lights barely piercing the thick darkness. The hallway seemed endless, stretching far beyond what the building's exterior suggested. The walls were lined with peeling murals, images of children playing, their faces twisted into grotesque expressions the longer one stared. The laughter faded, replaced by whispers, soft, insidious, words they couldn't quite make out. Then a figure appeared at the end of the hallway. A girl, no older than 10, stood motionless. Her hospital gown fluttered despite the air being still, her head tilted unnaturally, eyes reflecting nothing but void.
We need to go, now.
But Jason, frozen by a mix of fear and intrigue, raised his camera. The girl took a step forward. The lights flickered violently, and with each pulse of light she appeared closer. The final flicker plunged them into complete darkness. A scream tore through the void. When the lights sputtered back to life, Sarah was gone. Panic set in as they searched frantically, their voices calling out in desperation. But Sarah's name was swallowed by the abyss. Only the flickering remained, taunting them, warping their reality with every pulse.
This isn't right, man. We have to get out of here. She didn't disappear. She just flickered out like she was erased.
Then the laughter returned, but this time it was right behind them. The group turned, their lights illuminating nothing but empty space. The walls seemed closer, suffocating, shifting as if the asylum itself was alive. One by one they began to flicker, just like Sarah had. Jason fought against the growing void, clutching Emily's hand, but she too flickered once, twice, then vanished. Only Jason remained, trapped in the pulsating darkness. He screamed, but no sound came. The last thing he saw was the girl's face, now inches from his own, her mouth stretching into an unnatural grin before everything went black. Days later, the footage was found, uploaded mysteriously to their channel with no indication of who had edited it. The video cut off abruptly, ending with static and the soft, eerie laughter of a child. None of them were ever seen again. And yet, if you watch the footage closely, sometimes, just for a moment, you can see them flicker in the background, trapped between the light and the dark, forever lost in the asylum's cursed embrace.